what I do want to play for sure, not just yet, but in a little bit, are some clips that I've gathered from Loveline. This is going to
be a tense night. I have a bad feeling about this.
From a show from a few nights ago. It fell on Valentine's Day for the live show. And a girl called up, and she wanted some advice from the guys. She wanted to talk to Drew, specifically Drew, but Mike. She wanted Mike Catherwood to weigh in as well, because she's in love, or so she thinks. So her little 15-year-old mind thinks.
Sweet Valentine's Day love.
She's in love with a much older man.
Much older.
And I immediately thought
filthy pig of a man.
Of a caller that we have here on the After Disaster, all of you know, whoever listens to the After Disaster. And I thought, oh, that would be horrible if she was talking about Mike Carano, and that was her. I looked up at the board. Sure enough, she was calling from said city. Actually, I didn't say the city, and it was her. So she was talking about Mike Carano. And here's the comedy of it. Mike Catherwood and Dr. Drew, who both know and love Mike
Let me point out that I don't find this entertaining or funny at all.
Had no idea that it was Mike Carano that they were talking about. You know what? Should we just talk? Should we just play it?
Is it going to freak me out?
I got a little taste for you.
All right, here's the situation.
Sheet writer pretty soon.
I don't feel like we should.
Hey, you have a receipt from Subway that's a full-size receipt?
No, this is from the Film Vault. For Christmas, I printed out a
that's
employee application.
That's great.
For our producer Logan, because we fire him every week. So that was
awesome.
My Christmas gift, was to Starbucks, Subway, and somewhere else. So listen,
hey, that whole thing I talked about off the air with you.
I have no idea.
Looks like it's happening.
What are you talking about? The sea lady
might be meeting you over at the old other place.
Sweet.
Let's talk in more code that
I was hoping you were talking about something else. That doesn't interest me at all. Anyways,
interests me.
I brought my phone too, you pricks. So please stop stealing my gold. For those.
That was great. Give a little recap on that.
It's not really that great. It's a game that I play that you guys all play, apparently, High Noon, and you guys all stole my gold because I forgot my phone last week. And I said, oh, fuck, I forgot my phone. And you guys all glommed on and said, let's go steal Anderson's gold.
I was in the chat room.
I don't even know what that means, but let's hear this tape.
I had like 20,000 gold pieces.
Get this over
and
with.
I got home and I had 5. You guys stole 5.
I was in the chat room when everyone realized.
Not even on.
Exactly, Mike. How? You don't know because you don't play the game. You should really play High Noon.
I have it. I just haven't played it
Go
yet.
to my Facebook, find where it says High Noon, and sign up under me so you can automatically be on my shit list. And
can I say something before we listen to this thing?
It's hot in here.
I've realized after that incident I had with that comedian who still is trying to get payback because he's a little baby.
Payback.
Because I said something bad about him. Okay, I twittered something that was totally inappropriate and out of line about a comedian, and the comedian took it personally and decided that his feelings were hurt, so I sent him a handwritten letter apologizing, and his response to that was he demands I get fired or he's never coming back to the Improv again. And it's just gotten worse from there. Now, I was in the wrong completely, and I was out of line, but he's a little hypersensitive, and I would say something worse, but I don't want to. But point is, I don't want to give a flying F if somebody likes me or not. And I don't care that if he likes me because I didn't want to be friends with him. And, it's not like, oh, this guy I have this bond with or we have a lot in common. I don't really care. But why does that stuff affect me to such an extent where it just can screw up a day of mine? You know what I mean? Like one little thing. Like I'll think of things in the past, like stupid things I said or dumb mistakes I've made.
So you're not listening to The Secret anymore is what you're saying.
I stopped listening to The Secret months ago.
I can tell.
Yeah.
You should start listening to The Secret
I
again.
just had this. Okay, you want to hear something? I'm not going to tell you the circumstances. I was sitting down last night having dinner next to Daniel Tosh.
We're going to get to the clips momentarily, guys.
He tells me something, and then he goes, don't tell anyone that. And I literally...
I had already gotten a text from you.
And no. But I got up and told someone. I mean, he told me something, and I went, and he goes, don't tell anybody. And I got up, and I told someone immediately. And then probably 10 minutes later, my phone rings, and it's Tosh, and he goes, what the He's like, what the F? I just told you not to tell anybody, and you told the first person you saw. And I was like, I'm really sorry. Apparently I don't listen. I'm a complete moron. I have no ability to listen.
Not only did you tell someone, but you texted other people that weren't.
I don't listen. Because then he asked me a couple questions about what he said on stage. He goes, do you think this is... Do you remember what I said the first time or the second time? And I went, nah. I was sitting there staring at you, but I wasn't paying attention to what you were saying.
Yeah? Okay, so I went through that big rendition earlier, and I talked about it. It's the huge setup, but it was a few nights ago now, and a young girl called up to talk about how she has a crush on a much older man. And I learned
That much older part really is
a
disturbing.
couple minutes into the call, actually 30 seconds into the call, I quickly learned that this was our caller, who I don't really like to talk about or encourage because, Katie, you know you have issues and stemming from, being 15, which is a very difficult age, and I don't want to encourage this or feed into it, but it's just such gold what came forth after. As a result of your call, but I hope I didn't hurt your feelings.
Can I have
but
a copy of this from my website?
We cut you out. I cut
kidding?
you out.
Oh, I wanted to hear it.
I'll give you the whole call, but we're not going to go through the whole call. I just want to go with the reaction. So this this is the initial reaction when the caller, I already said her name, so it's stupid, but she called up and she said, "I'm in love with a much older man." They said, "How old?" And she said 44. And here's how they reacted. Please.
Oh no!
Yeah, that sounds not ridiculous. It sounds profoundly dangerous. Profoundly. Whoever this douche is, he's a very, very, very dangerous person. Very, very dangerous.
Is that track
man.
2? Okay, that's just track 1, right? All right, so yeah, that Drew is not joking. Right? Let's hear that again, because Drew is. There's no hyperbole here. He has
Makes
no
me sick
idea
that he's talking about
He
me.
has no idea that he's talking about Mike Carano at this point, and this is on Loveline, nationally syndicated radio program Loveline.
This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
And
In this room.
he
only.
is talking about
Only.
Mike Carano. Let's hear it one more time.
Oh no!
Yeah, that sounds not ridiculous. It sounds profoundly dangerous. Profoundly. Whoever this douche is, he's a very, very, very dangerous person.
Very, very dangerous.
Can I just say, I
know
don't
what's-
think I'm that dangerous.
I listen to Loveline 10 hours a week or so because I work on the show. And it's rare that Drew gets his eye up quite that high. I mean, he actually was sitting on the edge of his chair, leaning into the microphone, and his eyes were wide, and his glasses were up on. They weren't on the tiptoe of his nose. They were actually on his face. He was ready for action.
He was actually motioning me to bring in paper and pencil because he needed to write down a description for the police.
Yeah, he was going to actually have her describe you before I.
She could send me one of the drawings.
All right. He goes on to continue to describe this said person. I keep saying this said person like I'm some goddamn lawyer. I hate that. I need to stop saying that. But anyways,
You know what's weird is I can relate to this because when I was her age, I was head over heels in love with Farrah Fawcett, and I actually thought her and I were going to have a relationship.
Was she 44?
I don't know. I was like 12 or 13, and she was
Do you
probably in
realize-
her 30s.
You guys all realize that Mike Carano is currently comparing himself to Farrah Fawcett
Yes.
in the I want you category factor.
Very, very dangerous man. Very.
It makes me sick to my stomach to even think about it. He's 44 years old.
That was number 2. All right, now here's some theoreticals of just what a 44-year-old man could be. Here's Drew explaining what a 44-year-old man. And go ahead.
He potentially could have grandchildren your age.
This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me, listening to this. I'm a loser. I quit the show.
Any man who would allow.
I don't think this is funny,
Let's hear that one more
even though
time.
I'm giggling.
He potentially could have grandchildren your age.
You guys are assholes, and I don't think this is funny at all, but I do want a copy of this to put on Facebook tomorrow. Before I
He
close.
potentially could have grandchildren your age.
Is that possible? Wait, let me think.
If I had kids when I was 16, and then they had kids when they were 10, no, I don't know.
Potentially could have grandchildren your age.
Drew always throws shit like that out there. I don't know how realistic it is.
No, I couldn't have grandchildren.
Hey, there was a girl.
Her age? Wait! How can I have grandchildren that are 15? So if I had kids when I was 8, and they had kids when they were,
It could have happened. You're a sick guy. You could have kids when you're 8.
and they had kids when they were 15. Wait, 15. Oh, you know what?
If Nambla had their way,
Hey,
man,
if I had a kid when I was 14, and then he had a kid when he was
don't forget about the 9-month gestation period.
14, basically, that kid could have a grandkid that's 15.
He potentially could have grandchildren your age.
Dr. Drew needs to do his math better when he's talking about me. Because this is horribly you guys, if you think this is funny,
Still have no idea they're talking about Mike.
this is the first time I'm ever glad that nobody listens to this show.
There's a case in somewhere in South America where a girl had two separate cases in the same country, I believe, and I can't remember the goddamn country now. But she had 2 different girls, 5 years old, gave birth. 5-year-old
Sound
girls
familiar?
gave birth. Is that phone number?
Yeah.
No. This is really horrible right now. All right, so Let's talk about. Drew wants to go on and talk about the boundaries that have been crossed in this call, and how you, Mike Carano, the perpetrator, have crossed boundaries.
Any man who would allow, at age 44, who would allow any level of a relationship to start to develop between him and a 15-year-old is a seriously sick person.
See, now this is where I started getting really upset because I was listening to it and realizing, I was realizing just how far off the mark they were, because I've experienced all of this. I've been sitting here, I've been watching this whole goddamn thing happen. And I'm in Mike's ear saying, Mike Cather with it, it's Psycho Mike saying, ask where she met him. Ask how she knows this guy. Ask. And he wasn't. And Tyler and I were laughing, but I was starting to get a little upset with that comment.
Because what if it just ended there?
Oh, it'd be awful. Yeah, I know. All right, now here, let's hear track 5.
You're not sick. He's sick. He's dangerous. And you are a victim.
Now, Katie's in her defense, she was through and I'll give you the call, but she was saying it's not his fault, it's my fault. But that's what all victims say, right? All victims are always saying it was, he's the one. I was beaten because I was a bad girl, and he, he was right and choking me out, and it wasn't his fault.
Can we clarify again for the listeners that she's not a victim and I didn't do anything?
Yes, she's talked to him through this show and on Facebook, and a lot of girls have crushes on Mike. I understand.
He potentially could have grandchildren your age.
I swear to God, I'm going to quit this show if you ever play that more than once a week. That's the most unsettling
Good thing we only do
quote.
the show once a week.
That's the most unsettling quote I've ever heard about myself in my entire life.
He potentially could have grandchildren your age.
I think Drew thought there might be actual grandchildren too.
Except for the time I was walking through a club and Daniel Tosh was on stage and it was sold out. And he goes,
Again with the Tosh.
hey, everybody, there's Mike Carano. And some girl in the front of the row that's drunk goes, who's that? And he goes, that's some super creepy photographer. Stay away from him. I was like, thanks, Tosh.
All right, now let's put poor Mike out of his misery, and we'll play the reveal here. This is where they finally figure out who it is.
Here we go.
It's Mike Carano.
This is the sad part. Is it's true though. She's in love with Mike Carano, but he is innocent. He's never done anything. She knows him from this show and the After Disaster.
Wait, Katie. Well, I've got to dissect. I need to put.
But she is in love with Mike Carano, which is a problem in itself.
I need to put you under the surgical lights and dissect you, because I think you're a being from another planet or something. Mike Carano.
Yeah, Drew just has to be a little dick there at the end. He thinks he's funny, but
he potentially could have grandchildren your age.
But then Mike Catherwood goes on to talk about how everyone that he's ever introduced you to has ended up having somewhat of a crush on you at one point or another. And then Mike turns it around and says, Anderson, is he going to try and bang my girlfriend? Which was funny, and yeah.
That was just more disturbing than I anticipated it being.
I was upset though that they were going so far, because I'm sitting here and I like I said, I lived it, and I see just how innocent you are. So that makes me think that sometimes other calls, are like this, and
you know what?
Other Mike Caranos
Honestly,
out there that are being wrongly accused.
I thought about that too, because what if somebody's calling up going, "Oh, my boyfriend's doing this." It's not really their boyfriend; it's just some dude they work at a grocery store with. And then Dr. Drew's reaming him, talking about his 15-year-old grandkids. Which, by the way,
potentially
folks,
could have grandchildren your age.
I couldn't potentially have 15-year-old grandchildren. How's that even possible?
Dude.
I'm too lazy to do the math, but how's that even possible?
Where did the girl? She was 5 years old and she gave birth, so that means that there could be a great grandkids. Anyways,
that was muy disturbing.
Was it?
I believe so.
Katie.
Hey, guys.
Thank you for calling Loveline, my friend.
I'm 15, and I know how ridiculous it sounds, but I think I'm in love with an older man.
How old?
44.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That sounds not ridiculous. It sounds profoundly dangerous. Profoundly.
I know.
Like this is the guy at the other end, whoever this douche is, he's a very, very, very dangerous person.
Well, I mean, I've never, I've never done anything with him.
Katie, no. You understand? The fact that you think you're in love with him.
That he's taken you to that point.
The fact that he would allow that,
Yes.
Dr. Drew said, the fact that he would allow this to even get here.
Very, very dangerous man. very.
Well,
It makes me sick to my stomach to even think about, Katie. He's 44 years old.
He
You're
hasn't done
15!
anything, really.
He potentially could have grandchildren your age.
You're 15, Katie. Come on. I know you're young and it's hard for you to kind of understand stuff, but you're 15 years old. He's a grown-ass man. Not like I'm a grown-ass man. I'm 31. He's 44.
I know. He hasn't done anything.
Katie, he's
I don't know
made
what's
you
wrong with
feel
me.
the way you're feeling. He's communicated with you in such a way that the boundaries have been bad and you've gotten sucked into something extremely dangerous. You must tell your parents. You must.
Any man, Katie, I mean this. I'm trying to tell you this, not to sound like a tough guy on the radio. I'm for your own sake. Any man who would allow, at age 44, who would allow any level of a relationship to start to develop between him and a 15-year-old is a seriously sick person.
It's true, Katie. You're not sick. He's sick. He's dangerous. And you are a victim.
Well, I honestly think it's me because he really hasn't done anything.
Quit saying that. How do you know this guy?
Guys, wait a minute.
How
Hold
do
on.
you know this guy,
Then this
Katie?
is bogus call.
How did she meet the guy?
Yeah.
Online.
How? What? Where? Here we go.
It's Mike Carano.
See, this is the sad part. Is it's true though. She's in love with Mike Carano, but he is innocent. He's never done anything. She knows him from this show and the After Disaster.
Wait, Katie. Well, I've got to dissect. I need to put.
But
you
she is in love with Mike
I need
Carano,
to
which
put-
is a problem
hold
in
on.
itself.
I need to put you under the surgical lights and dissect you, because I think you're a being from another planet or something. Mike Carano.
Yeah.
Every girl that I introduce to Mike Corona loves Mike Corona.
Under 18?
No, like chicks that I try to bed. And I introduce them to Corona and they love him. Katie, are you Katie, homeschool Katie from Santa Barbara?
I am.
Oh, yeah, Katie, stop it. We appreciate
So
the fact that you love the show.
You're not talking to him. You're just listening to him,
I have talked to him before.
like we're talking to us right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of,
All right. Let's not talk.
Hey, Katie,
you interacted on a talk show.
Katie, believe me, I appreciate the fact that you love the show and that you listen a lot. And I really do. And when I've had interaction with you via Facebook and whatnot,
And by the way,
with you-
I'm in love with Mike Carano too. Just so we're all clear.
when I've had interaction with you
Anderson, you?
via Facebook and Twitter and stuff, you seem like a really smart girl and all that. But you seem to also go on these ridiculous tangents sometimes, and I really want to make sure that you're okay. And I don't mean that like you're kidnapped.
What's
or
the other example?
I don't want to air out her dirty laundry on the air
Yeah.
because it's stuff that she's talking to me. But it does seem, Katie, like have you been properly
what
investigated
I'm asking
mentally and emotionally?
Is she just screwing with you? With stuff,
No,
or-
no. Little things like Katie. I mean, do you mind me talking about some of those conversations we've had via instant message and stuff?
No, I don't mind.
Katie will oftentimes be very supportive of the show and then talk quite. She'll be quite supportive, and then all of a sudden she'll get very dark and want to hurt herself or possibly
okay,
do
okay.
that.
So,
and
Katie,
and I feel like I don't know if you, because you are homeschooled, because you maybe
no,
are
no.
in this kind of insulated world, that you're getting the medical or emotional or psychiatric attention that you may need as someone who is possibly bipolar or
Yeah,
has.
it's not okay to have those feelings and not get medical attention. That is not okay. Katie, seriously. Okay?
Okay.
I think I remember saying this to you before.
And Katie, look, you're very young, and for the idea, it's like you wouldn't want to leave a movie 10 minutes in, and that's what your life is. You're 10 minutes into your life. You have so much more going for you. So the fact that you would even have these ideas, and this is coming from a kid who was that way. I was that same way when I was 15 years old. I even went through with trying to commit suicide when I was in my early 20s. So I understand where you're coming from. But these feelings are not okay. It's not natural kind of teenage angst. I just want to make sure that, because, again, I'm kind of concerned that you're homeschooled. You may not be getting the psychiatric attention that you deserve.
Okay?
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Katie. And stay away from Mike Carano.
Well, she is. Thank God. I know. I trust Mike Carano not to.
Oh, Carano's
Yeah.
the bomb. But I mean what I said.
Well, I imagine some guy sitting at home in a rodeo clown outfit or something. You know what?
Three girls.
Well, I'm in love with Mike Carano.
3 girls I've been.
Anderson's loving Mike Carano.
This Mike,
I'm in love.
Bad Mike, Mike
guys-
has introduced 3 ladies to Mike Carano. All 3. I love him. He's the best. He's so funny.
Now, I know that this is a live nationally syndicated radio program, but I ask everyone who's listening to this, and you too, and Tyler, no one let Mike Carano know about this conversation. I will be playing it back for him live on the After Disaster on Thursday, and it is going to ruin him hearing you guys talk about what a sick pig he is. I can't wait.
Wait
Is
a
Mike
minute.
Carano going to bang my girlfriend?
You have to wait a minute. You have to include this part too. We thought of some.
No, it'll be cut down. It will be cut down, sir.
1-800-LOVE
Then I'm gonna tell him.
191 is the number.